guys, welcome to my channel. Thanks very much for taking the time to look at improving your car sales game. As car sales individual, we all know that there are 4 products that we have to sell, and those are the gap insurance, the tyre and alloy, cosmetic maintenance, and your paint protection systems. So what the aim of this video is to give you some tutorials and some of the processes that I use during my pitches. There's 2 reasons that I'm making this video. Obviously, there's to help you guys, enable you to make more money. As car sales individuals, we are commissioned, and obviously that is a strong motivation. But there should also be another motivation to that, and that should be to offer the customer the best possible service when you're selling to each individual. So we all know that we have to tailor packages to people. So, you know, it's understanding and qualifying the customer's needs so that they get the best from you and walk out of the dealership with effectively the best protection for them. So I'm going to break this down over 4 videos for you, okay? And as I say, I'm going to actually use the pitches that I give my customers on a day-to-day basis. Hopefully you can take something from that and apply it to your sales process. You know, you can try and mimic it. You know, please do comment on you know, the video as well, and add any ideas that you've got. The idea is to share around, you know, some different ideas for people to enable them to make just a better job all round for the customer and yourselves. So, you know, this job has got the earning opportunities to potentially make, you know, your life change. I came into the game 6 years ago, and you know, I've gone from a job where I was in the motor trade. I was working in parts, for example, and with the parts you can only earn a certain amount, where in the sales game you're actually able to effectively, there's not really a cap depending on what companies you work for. So, you know, that should be a strong motivation for you to understand your product to the best of your capabilities. So that's what this is all about, guys. I'm going to break it down, and what we're going to do first of all is cover cosmetic maintenance, which will be part 1. And then, as I say, I'll upload the other videos for you, tyre and alloy being part 2, the paint protection being part 3, and gap insurance being part 4. Right guys, we're going to jump into part 1. The cosmetic maintenance plan costs £400 and it covers you for 3 years, and basically it will cover you for any scratch or scuff that fits within that 30cm diameter. It also covers you for car park dents that fit within the inner black circle. So if someone scuffed your car in the car park and didn't leave their details, something like that, as long as it's paint damage and not a cracked bumper, would cost you in the region of £400 to repair in a body shop. So if one repair is going to cost you that, but the 3-year protection will also cost you that, it makes sense, I'd say, to take that protection, okay? Now, basically with the cosmetic maintenance, I do get people say to me, oh, I've got insurance for that, okay? So that's one of the objections that I get. So what I actually do is build into my, my pitch that most insurance companies will have a compulsory excess and a voluntary excess, okay? Usually those 2 equal around about £500. So you'd end up spending £500 to get one piece of damage repaired and end up with your premium going up next year, okay? So it makes sense to take the cosmetic maintenance plan, I think. One thing I always say to customers is if you bought a car, new or used, it doesn't matter, you go to the car park and someone opens their car on your door, puts a dent in it, or scuffs your car and doesn't leave the details, are you going to be annoyed? If you are, buy the cosmetic maintenance, okay? It makes sense. You've got to make sure that you include any of the exclusions as well. So the £1,000 doesn't roll over with ours, so you don't get £2,000 in the second year. So another bit that isn't covered on the cosmetic maintenance plan is the bonnet and the roof. So it is important that you itemise out these exclusions for the customer. Another thing, it doesn't cover you across 2 panels. Once you go across 2 panels, you're then looking at an insurance job, okay? Also, with the insurance job, that's where you can talk about the gap and relate it, because now with gap, they are covering you if you have an insurance job because of the diminished value. Obviously, any insurance or body shop claims now are going to be logged on HPIs, which means that if your car's been in an accident and it's gone for an insurance repair, and effectively it will be on the HPI. If you ever come to sell or trade that vehicle in and someone checks it, they'll know it's been in an accident, and of course that's not going to fetch the same money as a car that hasn't. Okay, so your gap insurance will cover you on that side, but you can relate the 2. So I hope that gives you a little bit of something to talk about with the customer. You've got to be confident with your pitch, and remember that you're building a value of a product that effectively they may end up needing. Okay. Another way to do it as well is it's important to go out to the part exchange and walk around the vehicle, and when you're doing your appraisal you can put it over to see if the damage on their current car could have been covered by a potential maintenance plan. Another thing I wanted to quickly cover with you as well is that sometimes you do get customers sort of say, no, I've done this plenty of times, or no, I don't want anything else, or I won't be paying for anything else. That is where you then need to do your job, and you have to say, excuse me, I've got a job to do. We have a legal obligation to talk to you about certain products, so I will have to follow the process. And during that process, the customer will build respect for you because you're not folding, okay, straight away. And you're also explaining that there is a reason that you're taking them through this process. That's to treat the customer fairly, and you can offer everybody the same thing, okay? One of the things I wanted to cover with you guys is how you give the presentation. So I see a lot of people trying to sell products, sat at their desk, they don't move, and basically run through almost robotically, and they don't have any interaction with the customer or the car. That's going to build any kind of value in the products that you're trying to get across to the customer. Now, we've got to remember that these products are there to protect the customer. You're not trying to sell them something that they don't need, or you pick. One of the things that comes up often is that it's out of someone's budget. This is all stuff and barriers, and what I would say, you're creating your own objections before people even actually present the products. So I hope you enjoyed part one on cosmetic maintenance. Again, important that you build these products into your quotes from the minute that you start off. The first quote should always have all the products built in. That way you can work backwards with the customer, and you also are not delivering any horrible shocks. If I quote you £250 for your car, and then say to you 10 minutes later after I say I want to buy the car that suddenly it's going to be 290 if you protect yourself, it never sits well. So the idea of this is to help you avoid those scenarios and improve your sales game and help you overcome some of the objections that you may get, and making sure the customer understands what the product is all about. Please do give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, guys.